Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com. Saturday, April 8th, 2023, here with today's NRFIs in Major League Baseball action. Of course, NRFI stands for no runs first inning. We also, in this video, do yes runs first inning. Some books refer to that as over half a run, and some books refer to the NRFI as under half a run. Any way you slice it, 6 outs on a NRFI and you are done. And on a yes runs first inning, it's even less than 6 outs. So these are the fast bets in Major League Baseball. Certainly very popular these days, and of course that's why we're covering them. And of course, the thing is, if your book doesn't have the NRFI or doesn't have the best odds on the NRFIs, by all means, shop the lines. Get multiple sports books. I can't encourage people to do this enough. Nothing stinks more than, like, say you have a game and you're laying 7 points, your friend's laying 6.5, you end up with a push, they end up winning, and all because they use a different sports book. I use multiple sports books myself, and I do this, of course, for a living, and that's the only edge. It really is the biggest edge that you have on the books, is being able to shop lines. You know, on a money line sport, 115 versus 125 over the course of a season, whether it's plus 125 that you're getting, and as opposed to plus 115, or on the losing end minus 115 versus minus 125, all those continue to add up, and we're talking thousands of games that we bet over the course of the season. Shop those lines, and of course use our sportsbook tab. You don't have to buy anything from us or buy our picks or do any of those things to support what we do here at Pickdawgz. If you sign up for a sportsbook, it supports us plenty, and of course helps us get better offers. We have the best offers out there anyway to begin with, but be sure to use our sportsbook tab. But anyways, let's get to today's NRFI action. Yesterday, what we do on this show, it's the only show where I do this, is where we recap yesterday. And I tell you, we've had better, we've had worse, but let's just go right over it. We took the NRFI in the Marlins Mets. That was a winner. We took the yes runs first inning in the Cubs Rangers. Didn't happen for us. We took the yes runs first inning in the Yankees Orioles. Did not happen. No runs first inning was a winner in the Reds Phillies game. Minnesota Houston, yes runs first inning. Did not happen. Seattle Cleveland, yes, there was a run in the first inning in that one. Took the no runs first inning in the White Sox Pirates. There was 22 runs scored in that game, and yes, there was runs in the first inning, so we did not win that one. Atlanta San Diego, yes runs in the first inning. Did happen in that game. Washington Colorado, there were runs in the first inning. Another game where there was 15. I did not like that pick. I tried to say it on the show yesterday. I really like the over in that game. And not sure why I gave it out on the show, because the betting tools had it, but I'm going to start editing these out. And then the Angels scored 2 runs in the first inning, so we lost that one. But that's yesterday's picks. Nothing we can do about those. Can't bet them now. So we move on to today's picks. If you're going to leave comments, going back to this, if you're going to leave comments in the YouTube, just make sure they're correct. We had some guy yesterday saying, I went 1 out of 6 in the first 6 picks on your video. I bet every single one. Then he sends me an email. Oh, I actually only bet 9 of them. Then he reads off, and he actually only bet 8. He missed that Marlin. So his 1 out of 6 was 3 and 3. So if you're stating incorrect information, especially negative information about us, we're not going to say his name here unless he really demands it. But you know what happens to people that spread incorrect, negative stuff about us? We just smash them with the clown emoji. So you know who you are. You're a clown. Anyways, let's get to today's picks. Pick number 1, we head back to Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. We're going to take the NRFI in the Reds Phillies. This one was actually just quick work yesterday for the NRFI. Generally when you see the Reds and the Phillies, 2 teams that can swing the bat, you certainly consider more. Nick Lodolo is a really good strikeout guy who goes here for the Reds, probably one of their best. Bailey Falter, I've been critical of him like most pitchers, but he certainly can manage it around. He took the loss in his first outing, but the NRFI has hit 5 in a row for the Reds when they've gone to Philadelphia. We'll try and make it 6 in a row. We'll take the NRFI with the Reds and the Phillies. Our next pick, we're going to go to Wrigley Field, where the Cubs are taking on the Rangers. Yesterday, there was a horrific crosswind in this game, and there was no runs in the first inning. Today, it's blowing in again at 11.5 miles per hour, coming from the opposite direction, now coming from right field across the field inward to the left side of the infield. So it's miserable hitting conditions once again in Wrigley today. Martin Perez, who really turned his career around last season, and Justin Steele, who has good stuff for the Cubs going in this one. We had Steele in his first start and cashed on him there. And Perez, we cashed on him all season long last year, and we cashed on him already this season. So we're going to take this NRFI in the Cubs against the Rangers as pick number 2. Pick number 3, we're going to roll back to this Marlins-Mets. We cashed on the NRFI right out of the gate yesterday with these two. And the Marlins on the road have hit the NRFI 6 times in a row. You know, this is the thing about the Marlins. Trevor Rogers going, and generally he gives up runs early. So this one a little bit dicey, and it's a little bit high of a price for it. Senga going for the Mets. We saw him in his first major league career start last time out. He looked really good, the Japanese import. I think Trevor Rogers is due for a comeback season. I know it wasn't a great effort in his first outing, but the Marlins know more than just a thing or two about pitching. I mean, look at Jesus Luzardo, who most people really did not like that Starling Marte trade for Luzardo, but look at Luzardo now. He is on fire. I'd say he's a Cy Young candidate, really. He's that good. And, you know, I think Trevor Rogers, who was Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago, we know he has good stuff, and we'll ride him again here. We'll take the NRFI in the Marlins-Mets as our 3rd pick of today's show. Our 4th pick for today's show, we're going to go to the game between the Mariners and the Guardians. We hit this one yesterday with the yes runs first inning. We'll come right back against it with the Mariners. Guardians, yes runs first inning in this one. It's a mild odds on this thing, but we saw yesterday in the early going that the Guardians were able to plate one against the Mariners. Today, Marco Gonzalez gets the ball for the Mariners, and this guy, I think the issue with him, and I've had this with him throughout his entire career, he's always been a crafty pitcher. He doesn't have the velocity to get out. On the other side of this one, Cal Quantrill goes for the Guardians, and he has pretty good stuff. But the thing about Quantrill that we know, oh man, when he gets hit, the ball goes sailing out of the park. Gave up a home run in his first outing of the season. In fact, gave up 8 hits and 5 runs in his first outing of the season. But he gave up 21 home runs last season. Of course, they got Julio batting at the top of the lineup here for the Mariners. Man, I could see runs in this one. I like this one. We're going to go yes runs first inning in the Mariners versus Guardians. Our next pick, we're going to head back to Baltimore where the Orioles are taking on the Yankees. Gotta say, I'm a little lukewarm on this one. Cole Irvin on the mound here for the Orioles. He's generally pretty good through about the first 4 or 5 innings type guy. He used to be a bullpen guy back in Philadelphia when the Phillies bullpen was really bad. And they're not really good now, but when they were even worse. And for the Yankees in this one, we got Brito going, who was you know, kind of middle of the pack here for the Yankees in this rotation. And my guess, probably a guy that, I don't know. He allowed 2 hits, struck out 6 in his last outing. I think for him, he's really got nowhere to go but down in this thing. But anyways, the Orioles, NRFI at home as underdogs 6 in a row. I guess this one does work out, and we'll take the NRFI in the Orioles-Yankees. Our next one, we're going to go with the Padres and the Braves, and there was runs in the first inning yesterday. I was a little nervous about this one when I gave it out yesterday. Nick Martinez was on the mound yesterday for the Padres. It doesn't really get worse than that, except, well, Michael Wacha going today, and this guy is starting to get shipped around the league a little bit. He's becoming one of those guys, and Charlie Morton on the other side of it for the Braves. Morton's a second half of the season guy. I mean, that is what he is. He's been that way throughout his entire career. He started the season so far He got hit pretty good in that other game. He did get the win in the game, but it just shows to show you how meaningless wins and losses are for pitchers. He gave up 9 hits in 5 1/3. So we know that Morton has the ability to give it up early in games and early in the season. And Michael Wacha, well, this guy's given it up his entire career. I like this one. We're gonna take yes runs first inning in the Braves-Padres. Our next one, we're gonna head to Milwaukee, where the Brewers are taking on the Cardinals. Yes runs first inning in this one. The Cardinals 4 in a row. Yes runs first inning in the favorite role. You know, we got Jordan Montgomery going for the Cardinals. He's been nothing short of sensational since being traded to the Cardinals from the Yankees. Eric Lauer, who really is getting not a great shake here for the Brewers, but, you know, he certainly can get touched up as well. We know when you have good teams and good pitchers going, you got to get to these guys early, and generally that's where they're vulnerable. So yes runs first inning makes sense in a game that, even though it probably plays out to be a lower scoring game, I think a lot of the damage happens early in this game. We saw yesterday, even though both these teams have been hitting the cover off the ball, 4-0 was the final score. It was the Brewers hitting a few home runs in that one. And I think yes runs first inning. I think it's well worth the play here. Mild odds on this thing. We'll take yes runs first inning in the Cardinals Brewers. And our final pick for today's show, yes runs first inning, Blue Jays against the Angels. There was 2 runs scored in the first inning. Tyler Anderson's been pretty good his last 2 years. Last year with the Dodgers, now moving to Anaheim with the Angels. But Jose Barrios on the mound here for the Blue Jays, and he has been busted up in the first inning like no one's business, especially on the road. He's been absolutely crushed. His confidence has got to be just shot at this point. And of course, the top of that Angels lineup, oh boy, Trout, Ohtani. I mean, there's some heavy hitters there. I expect to see some runs in this one. I like the yes runs first inning in this one as well in the Blue Jays Angels. And that's our final pick for today's show. So let's recap everything we've gone over here. Be sure to smash that like button if you haven't already done so. Subscribe to our channel. Over 125,000 people have done so. Over 77 million people have watched our videos. So we got to be doing something, right? We certainly don't get them all right. And I think in these NRFIs, this is new for us. It's the first week of the season. We're using the betting tools, and they're still accumulating data. We're not going to make excuses. We're just going to keep rolling on. And just like we're not going to pat ourselves on the back when we go on that heater that we know is coming, because we've been doing this long enough that we've been on a lot of heaters over the years. So we know it's coming. And of course, if you want to support our channel, support what we do without buying picks, just sign up for a sports book over at Pickdawgz.com. I got a link in the description of this video. But anyways, let's recap the NRFIs and YRFIs for today. NRFI number 1, Reds, Phillies, NRFI. Pick number 2, Cubs, Rangers, NRFI. Pick number 3, Marlins, Mets, NRFI. Pick number 4, Guardians, Mariners, YRFI. Pick number 5, Orioles, Yankees, NRFI. Pick number 6, Braves, Padres, yes runs first inning. Pick number 7, Cardinals, Brewers, yes runs first inning. And pick number 8, Blue Jays, Angels, yes runs first inning. There's today's NRFIs and YRFIs. Of course, be sure to check back every day. Check out all of our videos on our YouTube channel. If you haven't checked out Jay's Jam Session, Ron's Rundown, Chris Ruffalo's home run props, he hit 4 home run props out of 6 picks yesterday. And you guys know the multiples on those home run props. Basically, he's covered for a month of picks at least. Be sure to shop those lines. Be sure to get on all those winners. Leave your picks in the comments, whether you agree or disagree. Do that before the game start. Don't be a scorekeeper. Be a winner, man. Help us all out. Throw us some winners in the comments. Make it a winning day. I appreciate each and every one of you.